Hello everyone, welcome to a 3-part video where I get all the survivors in Forsaken onto a tier list and rate them based on gameplay and fun they can be and their difficulty. Also, I'm going to assume the person using the character is competent enough to play them correctly. This means the player has full understanding on what the abilities do and when to use them. I will explain the stats and then give my opinion. With that out of the way, let's start with the first group of survivors. Noob is one of the first survivors you unlock when first joining Forsaken. His first ability is Bloxy Cola. Upon using, Noob drinks a can of Bloxy Cola with a 2.5 seconds windup, during which the Noob is unable to sprint and the movement speed is decreased by 10%. After finishing the drink, Noob is granted these buffs, which are Speed 1 for 10 seconds and removes all existing slowness effects. His next ability is Slate Skin Potion, which when Noob uses it, he drinks it for 1.5 seconds. During this, they are unable to sprint and their movement speed is decreased by 20%. After fully drinking the Slate Skin Potion, Noob gains Slate Skin 3 for 6 seconds. It can be recasted after 2.5 seconds to remove it manually. Cooldown only starts after 7.5 seconds, or if Noob manually cancels it out. If Slate Skin expires naturally, Noob is given Speed 2 for 2 seconds. However, if ended manually, Noob is given Speed 1 instead. His last ability is Ghost Burger, which Noob eats a strange burger with a windup of 2.2 seconds, creating powerful stealth effects for a short period of time. He gains these effects: Undetectable 1 and Invisibility 4 for 10 seconds. Undetectable does not apply, however, if Noob is the last survivor standing. While eating a burger, he is unable to sprint and he's also slower by 20%. Starting with his gameplay and just fun overall. The gameplay is alright. You're mostly just doing generators and running away from the killer the whole round, and you hope to make a last man standing. Gameplay/fun is 3 out of 10. Then his difficulty is around 5 out of 10. The reason I say this is because since his kit is so small and basic, you could probably master it pretty easily. Which means on the tier list, and remember, this is my opinion, Noob goes into C tier. He's not the best survivor to play in my opinion. 007 and 7. I kinda have mixed opinions. Firstly, he has one small passive called Dex, where he can see the location of the furthest teleportation in the map. To be honest, this isn't really a passive in my opinion, kind of just another part of the ability for cool GUI. His first actual ability is Clone. 007 and 7 creates a clone of himself that runs around for around 10 seconds before ragdolling. When 007 and 7 activates his clone, he gains Invisibility 4 and Undetectable 1 for 5 seconds. The clone wanders around by default, but can have its behavior changed by using 007's and 7's other ability, Inject. For 07 and 7, the clone is highlighted with the white aura and disappears when the clone ragdolls. His next ability is Cool GUI, which when used, 007 and 7 spawns his Cool GUI, reducing his movement speed by 85% for 5.5 seconds before teleporting to the spawn location indicated by Dex. Taking damage or beginning a generator will cancel this ability. His next ability is Inject, which upon using, 007 and 7 gains control over the directions of the clones he created using his clone ability. This ability allows switching between different clone movement modes depending on the situation he is in, which makes him the best in distraction and deception. However, if a clone is already active, switching modes will not affect it in any way, shape, or form. The clone will remain locked on the movement mode it was assigned when it was first made. So, here's my opinion. In gameplay and fun-wise, this character for me is a 6 out of 10. It is fun to trick the killer, but if the killer is competent enough to understand the difference between the actual character and the clone, it's not the most fun character to play as, especially since you're already survivalist, so you're most likely just doing generators anyway. His difficulty is an 8 out of 10. Nowadays, it's very hard for 07 and 7 to use him correctly, due to the key factor that killers are always watching for that clone when you are being chased, so it takes a minute to master him. On the tier list, 007 and 7 goes into B tier. He's kind of fun, but also more difficult, and that kind of wears out the enjoyment of his gameplay. Then we have Veronica, and oh boy, this is going to be a fun ranking. She firstly has a pretty big passive, and I'm going to quickly go over it. Veronica Robot. Veronica got battery. Since Veronica Robot, she get no medkit or the healing. Instead, she need battery to charge up HP. Now with that out of the way, let's actually go to the actual ranking. Her first ability is Vandalism. Veronica can equip or unequip her spray paint, allowing her to spray graffiti onto a wall by left-clicking or tapping and holding. It takes 5 seconds to complete one piece of graffiti. Each graffiti creates a rectangular graffiti zone that phases through walls and enables the use of another ability called Skate. V can place 3 graffiti spots at once. Graffiti cannot be placed within the range of other sprays unless V is behind a wall. V can erase her own graffiti by holding spacebar or tapping the screen near it with the spray can equipped. However, Veronica can erase her own graffiti as long as she's within a certain part of the graffiti hitbox. Graffitis have 5 HP and can be broken by the killer. If any graffiti is erased without Veronica doing it herself, the Vandalism ability goes on cooldown for 10 seconds. Her next ability is Skate. V can only use Skate while standing inside of a graffiti zone. The effects she gets when using this ability are moving at 1.15x running speed while skating, and consuming 1.35x more stamina than regular sprinting. She has very limited turning control while skating. If V crashes into the killer with her skating, she does 5 self-damage and applies slowness 4 for 2.5 seconds upon crashing. When cancelled, Skate goes on a 5-second cooldown. V can control the skating at any time by reusing the ability. This will bypass the helpless effect. If V's stamina runs out, Skate ends immediately, despite her increased movement speed while skating. When activating Skate, the graffiti piece she used becomes highlighted within 25 studs for 2 seconds, which is visible to both V and the killer. Her next ability is Broadcast, which has 3 modes, one of them being Phase. Upon colliding with the killer, V gains resistance 2 for 3 seconds and speed 2 for 1.5 seconds. If V phases through the killer, it changes Veronica's battery by 50%. Her next mode is Bumper, which upon crashing into the killer, she knocks the killer back. It charges V's battery by 15% as well, but this won't slow the killer nor do damage to V. Skate ends immediately if she crashes into the killer as well. If the killer is hit by the bumper in the last 20 seconds, knockback will not occur. A meter appears above Veronica's Broadcast ability when Bumper is selected to indicate its cooldown. If no meter is shown, Bumper is not on cooldown. It's the same thing as Guest Charge. Her last mode is Mobile, which literally all it does is increase her turn control to the last 2 seconds after landing. Her final ability is Activate Battery, which when used, Veronica begins slowly healing herself using her battery. Healing stops if maximum health is reached, battery charge runs out, or Veronica takes any damage, including status effects that deal damage over time. She can gain percentage by doing generators or other objectives. And that's all. If you enjoyed this part, consider liking and subscribing to me, and I'll see you again in part 2.